Hi, I'm Nico Pinares. I'm a student here at JMU, and I'm going to take you through the Gen Ed checklist.
The General Education program is the core liberal arts program of your degree at James Madison University, helping students develop a sense of social responsibility, as well as strong and transferable intellectual and practical skills, such as communication, analytical and problem-solving skills, and a demonstrated ability to apply knowledge and skills in real-world settings. It is required of all students regardless of their major or pre-professional program. General Education is organized into 5 clusters. The clusters may be completed in any order. For example, you do not need to complete Cluster 2 before starting Cluster 3. Students take classes in different clusters simultaneously until they have completed the program requirements. Over the span of your academic career, you will complete one course in each area of the 5 clusters. Once you have completed a course successfully, you have satisfied that requirement. You will notice that courses within General Education generally begin with the italicized G. The number of General Education courses you must take your first semester will depend on the major you select. Some majors may have only one or no major courses that must be taken the first semester, so your first semester may consist of enrolling in all Gen Ed courses. Other majors may have many courses which must be taken the first semester. It is possible that you already have credit for Gen Ed courses through advanced placement exams, international baccalaureate exams, the Cambridge International Exam, or dual enrollment credit for taking college credit while still in high school. For example, you may have credit for freshman writing through a dual enrollment course or AP, IB, or CIE credit from high school. I will mention areas of credit for each cluster as we proceed through the Gen Ed checklist. You will find information regarding passing scores and the JMU credit equivalent from AP, IB, and CIE credit in Module 2. Cluster 1 focuses on the skills you need to be a citizen of the 21st century. Ensuring all our students can demonstrate competency in the area of information literacy is an objective of Cluster 1 and is verified by requiring students to pass the information literacy test. The deadline for this test is later in the year, so while you do not need to be concerned about this now, you do need to understand that this is one of the Cluster 1 requirements. Cluster 1 is the only cluster that must be completed by the end of your first year at JMU. There are 3 course requirements in Cluster 1. For your first semester, you must enroll in either a critical thinking or a human communications course. If you are considering enrolling in a critical thinking course for your first semester, we encourage you to select one that is in a different discipline than your intended major, and your first year is a time to expose yourself to other areas of interest. The human communication courses differ from one another in areas of presentation format. The presentations given in GCOM 121 are a blend of individual and group presentations. GCOM 122 consists of presentations given individually, and GCOM 123 are primarily group presentations. The writing area of Cluster 1 is where many students arrive with credit. For example, let's say you took a freshman writing course as a dual enrollment course in high school. As long as you pass the course with a C or better, you already have credit for this requirement. At this point, you may check off that you have credit for GRIT 103. And, since it is the only course requirement needed for Cluster 1 writing, you have completed that as well. Cluster 2 introduces you to the arts and humanities and what it means to live lives enriched by reflection, imagination, and creativity. There are 3 course requirements in Cluster 2. The first area deals with the human questions and contexts, whether it is through history, exploring different cultures, different religions, or in-depth exploration of different philosophical thinking. Visual and performing arts introduces you to the arts through a historical perspective or the study of music, arts, or theater. These are not performance-based classes. You are not required to act or sing in these classes. The literature requirement provides the exploration of literary works and how they reflected on, changed, or created the cultural context of the times. Before taking the literature requirement, JMU recommends that you complete GRIT 103 in Cluster 1. Cluster 3 revolves around the natural world. The courses you take in this cluster are heavily dependent on your major and your math placement exam scores. ISAT majors generally take the ISAT math courses. Many majors will require a specific math area such as calculus or statistics. A few majors do not require a specific math area, so Math 103 is a viable option for students in these majors. You will use your math placement exam scores to determine which level mathematics course you need to begin with at JMU. The My Madison system will not allow you to enroll in a mathematics course that is higher than your placement recommendation. In a few science majors, you will also need to have a minimum SAT or ACT quantitative score to enroll in physics or chemistry. If minimum SAT or ACT scores are required for a major, this information will be presented on the enrollment worksheets you will use in Module 3. You will notice that not all courses in this cluster begin with G, indicating it is a general education course. However, they do all count for Gen Ed. There are two tracks in Cluster 3. The majority of students will take classes in Track 1, which apply to all majors except for teaching. In Track 1 there are 4 requirements. You may automatically complete the lab requirement, the fourth one, through coursework you take in Group 2 or Group 3. You will notice classes that also fulfill the lab requirement are designated to include a lab or have a lab as a prerequisite. If you do not take a course in Group 2 or Group 3 that includes a lab, then you can take GSci 104 to fulfill your lab requirement. Many of the science courses are only available to specific science majors. This information is also outlined in the enrollment worksheet in Module 3. Track 2 has been designated for students majoring in Interdisciplinary Liberal Studies, or IDLS. This is the major for students whose goal it is to teach in pre-kindergarten, elementary education, middle school, or special education. Students whose goal it is to teach at the high school level take classes under Track 1. Cluster 4. The social and cultural processes require students to think critically about their own society and its relations to the larger global community. There are 2 course requirements in Cluster 4. The first is the American Experience. These courses focus on the structure of American life today through American history, the U.S. government, or the justice system. This is another area where many students have already earned credit for these courses through AP, IB, CIE, or dual enrollment. Courses in the Global Experience focus on global issues of great importance to the human community. As you can see, the topics vary from course to course. Notice that there is an asterisk beside GPOS 225 and GPOS 200. The asterisk directs you to the rule that the students who enroll in GPOS 225 under the American Experience are not to enroll in GPOS 200 under the Global Experience area. Therefore, if you have credit, are waiting for credit, or decide to enroll in GPOS 225 U.S. Government to fulfill your Cluster 4 American Experience requirement, do not take GPOS 200 Global Politics under the Global Experience area. And vice versa, if you take GPOS 220, do not take GPOS 225. Cluster 5 focuses on your physical and mental health as an individual in the human community. There are 2 course requirements in Cluster 5. You will eventually complete 1 course from the wellness domain and 1 course from the socio-cultural domain. Let's start with the wellness domain, which focuses on areas of health and wellness. In the wellness domain, you have 2 course options: G-Health 100 Personal Wellness or GKIN 100 Lifetime Fitness and Wellness. Both courses include a physical activity requirement. The G-Health 100 course is lecture-based for each class meeting. The physical requirement for this course is an independent 15-hour physical requirement over the course of the semester to fulfill at the University Recreation Center, better known as UREC. You may engage in any physical activity that interests you at UREC at any time that fits your schedule. The 15-hour requirement is automatically tallied when you swipe your JAC card each time upon arrival and departure. GKIN 100 also requires a physical activity, but the activity is actually done during part of the weekly class time as a class unit. For example, if you elect to take GKIN 100 swim class, which meets on Monday and Wednesday, the class on Monday may be in the classroom for lecture, but the class on Wednesday will meet at the pool to swim. One thing to keep in mind about the swim option for GKIN 100 is that you are expected to already know how to swim. It is not a beginner's class. The other GKIN 100 physical options are cardio strength conditioning, yoga, indoor cycling, and boot camp. These activities do not have pre-existing expectations regarding your physical abilities in these areas. You can find out exactly which physical activity is required of each GKIN 100 class under the Class Notes section in the My Madison system. When you find a GKIN 100 course that fits your schedule, click on the section number of the class. In this example, you see the physical activity for this class is cardio strength conditioning. The sociocultural domain focuses on the aspects of individual interacting within societal context. There are 3 course options in the sociocultural domain, 2 of which are based on psychology and the other on sociology. If you have AP, IB, CIE, or dual enrollment credit for one of these courses, you may have this requirement already met. You will find the complete Gen Ed checklist on the General Education website. The first semester enrollment worksheets in Module 3 will help guide you in identifying the classes you need to take for your first semester, as well as providing a listing of all the general education classes you may select from to create a full schedule. On behalf of the JMU General Education program, I would like to once again personally welcome you to JMU. Go Dukes!